You gonna cry? You gonna cry? Huh? You gonna cry? You gonna cry? Huh?
What are you?
Huh? You're gonna squirt some? You gonna cry? Huh? Huh? Yeah, see, you're gonna cry, huh? You're a big man now, huh? Yeah. Thought so.
What up, though, people? What up, though? Thank you guys for kicking up the day with Wake Up Woodward, man. What a weekend. What a holiday season, man. Woo!
Oh, man.
Michigan slays Ohio State in their own home.
Oh, my goodness.
How does it just, Flannel, Sam, your boy Brandon J.K., Detroit Koolaid, it's Wake Up Woodward Chat family. Y'all are the most important part of this thing normally. But Michigan beat Ohio State. We love y'all. Let's smash that like button, run these likes up, man. We got to jump right into this. Flannel, I am elated, bro.
Oh, my goodness. Guys.
I'm about to grow my shadow beard back.
Ohio State held Michigan to 13 points. They held Davis Warren to 62 passing yards and 2 interceptions, and they still couldn't win. And they were 20-plus point favorites at home.
They had them boys shook. Shook on offense. It was like they were seeing ghosts, man. I don't even. You know what? Because Chase was saying something, before, and he was like, you know what? You're on the line. And it was like, I never thought they were going to get blown out. But what changed for me is where I believed, you know what? They do got things that they're playing for. That's when we said, you know what? They have opportunity to put Ryan Day on the hot seat. These rivalries are something that special things happen, no matter where they're ranked. And then you see them go in there, and all of the narratives play themselves out. This is what I do know. When you talk about Michigan men and the things that you have to have, when you know you're going to have one of those kind of in-the-toilet seasons, which is not what any of us expected or wanted, the one thing you got to do with all hellish ambition is beat Michigan State and beat Ohio State. Did I want better this year? Hell yes. But after a national championship, you talking about 4 years in a row for Ohio State? You talking about pushing Ryan Day that much closer to the hot seat? Bro, I'm telling you, I don't know any other way this could have gone after the start to the season. But this has completely changed everything for me. You talking about program builders. Think about it, because it's not just his victory. I think we got to go to Ryan Ermanni. There's another victory as well. Ryan Ermanni, I think he's live with a special guest for us. JB?
It's just a blessing, honestly, Just God. Thank God for all of this. So, sir.
Exactly. Bryce Underwood, what another big win. And then the trends with the coaching, seeing things get better with the game plan. Those are things that make me this ecstatic, man. I started the season with extreme expectation, wavered a little bit in the middle based on their production, and then you talk about a victory over Ohio State, victory over Michigan State, Bryce Underwood. Oh, yeah, I'm fired up. Fired up! Let's go!
Well, that's the thing. Everybody knows, and yes, I'm Visor Guy today. I look like fucking Kirby Smart, but the Michigan version. But that's neither here nor there. This is a great day. But here's the reality. I would have taken this 2-year stretch followed by getting Bryce Underwood any day of the week. I understand for people who are going to say that we're celebrating like we won the national championship or something. I get it. We didn't. It was still a 7-5 season. Moving forward, 7-5 seasons are not acceptable. However, in 2023, they win the national championship. In 2024, Michigan goes 7-5, but defeats the rivals that they should have beaten, Michigan State, first at home, and then upsets Ohio State as 20-point underdogs, hopefully pushing Ryan Day out the door in the process. And while we're at it, getting the #1 recruit in the effing country and seeming to commit more to NIL. The present, as far as this whole season goes, was not as bright as a lot of us expected, but the present in terms of beating Ohio State and the future, everything looks like it's coming up roses for Michigan right now. I mean, obviously they got to deliver on it moving forward, but this was Saturday was such a great day,
They have
man.
to deliver on it moving forward. And I remember some of the conversation we had prior, and I know we're going to get into Sharon more in later segments of this thing. But one of the things that we were talking about with KG as well is, you got to give them extra time. You got to give them at least the opportunity to have his recruits here, to put his system in place, coming off of losing so much talent to the NFL. And to see him do this with, important players injured, important players waiting it out for the NFL draft, like Will Johnson, who I respect the decision. I respect the fact that he did this well ahead of time so that the Wolverines could prepare for the back half of this schedule and everything. And so it's like thinking about everything they faced. So you're down personnel, and your coordinators are facing all types of scrutiny to the point that midseason, all of us were saying, hey, both of those guys can kick rocks. As you saw things go on, we saw them without a competent quarterback still scheme up enough offense against their rivals to get something done. And then you see the defense go to a completely different level. Because I'm going to throw Northwestern in there. Even though I expect them to win, the curb stomped them the way they did. That's what kind of prompted some of the conversation in our last show when we were previewing this is, hey, you know what? Was there some things in that Northwestern game that you saw? And that's what we all say, you know what? As it at least relates to Martindale, there are definitely some good trends here. They've improved as the season went on, and the program got better as well. Those are check marks for me. So it's not about celebrating like we won a national championship this year. But what did I say before? Am I going to stay consistent? This is all about, can Sharon Moore, and I said this before the season started, can he prove to me that he is a program builder? I told you guys, I believe in his coaching acumen. I really do. I'm not going to question that. You look into his history, you recognize this guy has had a hand in a lot of good college football players in this state. So it's like, I'm not going to question that. But in college football, it's much different. And towards the last 3, 4, 5 games of this season, as well as when you mix in the recruiting, as well as beating those rivals, man, those dreaded rivals like the Buckeyes, that's where I'm celebrating. Like, you know what? Cool. I got the check marks that I wanted to see out of the season, despite us not meeting the expectation from a win total.
Sure, and that's what beating your rivals is all about. That's what getting the number one recruit is all about. That's what committing more to NIL is all about. That's what improving as the year goes on is all about. And we've seen that with one coordinator in particular, more on him later. And I think you also saw it with Sharon Moore, more on him in a little bit, but one coach puckered, and the other coach at least did his job, which we absolutely love to see. And oh, by the way, because you mentioned it at the beginning, the fact that Michigan did this too with two of their 4 best players not playing in that game, it's so embarrassing for Ohio State. And I get it. Ohio State, you had 2 of your best offensive linemen out, and it clearly affected them. I get it. But we're talking about Will Johnson and Colston Loveland not playing. So you all can STFU if you want to give injury excuses. And by the way, shout out to those guys as well, Colston Loveland and Will Johnson. I know they didn't play in this game. I know that some Michigan fans were a little bit upset with Will Johnson because it seems like he's prioritizing his NFL future over playing in these games in a disappointing season. But to that, I say, fine. You know what I liked when it comes to Will Johnson? The interception in the Natty. I like the interception in the Ohio State game last year. I like the fact that he is going to be either the first or second cornerback drafted off of the board.
You said it best. All anyone should be doing, if you're a supporter of University of Michigan, is saying, thank you, Will Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. You talk about not just what they did on the field, and then you go to the fact that when they win that type of way, Big Ten championships, beating your rivals, and giving you a national championship, then all of the other lore that they brought to this thing, it goes into those memories forever. Those turnover buffs are going to be something that lives forever, and he bought that culture. It helped to inspire this team. And you saw this defense get super nasty. I remember going to some of those Ohio State games over the last 4 years where people said, no, there's no way y'all can stay with their offense. But the problem is when you got dogs and when you hear them start to use the words, I heard you, Sharon. I heard you use the word gritty. Honestly, you can't say, you know what, that's cheesy, y'all are biting when you see them out there actually playing gritty. And that's why I saw this team. We all knew what they were offensively walking into that game. But who knew that they could make Will Howard look just like that as well? That's where it's just like, wow, this defense really went out there and stood on their head times 2. And they got this dub over Ohio State in their own victory, and they deserve to plant that flag.
They deserve to plant that flag. KG.
Don't say that too loudly.
My dog.
Some people are a little upset about that.
Talk your shit for a couple minutes.
Hey, I heard y'all motherfuckers yelling from the kitchen, dog. Y'all was loud, dog, when the show started. You got the Bourbon Hair Rose girls wondering what the hell's going on in here. But man, shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, bro. What a win. And for people that want to hate on us today and want to take our pride, y'all can suck it, bro. Yeah, we celebrate like it's a national championship. You damn right. This is our national championship this year. We kept Ohio State possibly out of the Big Ten championship. We exposed the fraud that is Ryan Day. He's horrible.
Fraud alert.
Get him out of there.
Fraud alert.
He's horrible. And listen, man, I just can't speak to the job that Sharon Moore did in this game, man. This was his his best coach game so far, bro. And it gives me so much optimism for the future. Even Wink Martindale, bro, like I got to give him a ton of credit the way he coached this game. Some of your guys on defense stepped up, bro. You had Mason Graham out there, Makari Page, man, Jay-Sean Barham, man. It was a lot of people out there making plays, man. And it was just great to see, bro. It was a defensive battle. We knew it was going to be a battle, but you came out on the other side of it, bro, and you proved that, with the right talent in here, bro, this shit can change in 1 year.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm not questioning his coaching acumen. You will not hear me ever do that. If you know him, then you get that. The program, it looks like he definitely has us going the right way. I know there were some rumors that, he and Martindale were on with Mentor and Harbaugh. Whether it's true or not, if it is true, that's program building. We're talking about what connections do you have to the NFL to make sure that this program continues to be forward-thinking and progressively for your players. Because the connections to the NFL, and I heard Harbaugh talk about this one time, he was like, no, there's business opportunities out there as well. You want these types of relationships. So it's like you're offering things to your student athletes in an era of NIL, which they're going to play in. But if you continue to show, we in this era still have that edge, I think that goes a long way. And, hey, JB, man, shout out to my pops. Over the holidays, man, it was not a good holiday season, but I know this one definitely picked him up. We did have a loss in the family, his sister, so I want to definitely keep them in prayer. And got into a pretty bad accident when they were preparing to get here at home. So, but I know one thing that made him excited. Man, this is a throwback picture. Hey. My dad, kid Koolaid, and myself when I had hair, So, right? But shout out, man. My dad, he's ecstatic with the Ohio State win, the win over Ohio State. Yeah. And I just wanted to be able to say shout out to you, Pops, man. This was huge. Like, Ohio State, Michigan games in general. Like, even with us, I got to show you what the hair is now. But even with us, because we refrain from certain activities during the Sabbath hours. But we would DVR the ones we could and catch every night game we could. He would throw it up on the TV, and that would be how when Jeremiah and I, that's how he got into Michigan football. And so it was dope, man. So shout out to you, Pops. Shout out to everybody else, man. Go Blue fans. And I know, JB, you made some people some money, huh?
Oh, I definitely made some people some money, especially with the early afternoon, games that were going on as well too. I told everyone take the points with Michigan, and some people, I had a lot of people sitting here saying that, Ohio State is just about to kill Michigan, 20 points. Everyone's like, oh, no, Ohio State is so dominant this year. You know what? Look what happened. I said if you could hold them off until the fourth quarter, make it a close game, you never know. Anything could happen. And look, Michigan came out on top. So,
top.
Hats off to you guys. I'm like, amazing job.
Flannel, I got a question for you before we get into the next segment. How many wins does Ryan Day have in the game, in the series?
He has one.
How many wins as head coach / acting head coach does Sharon Moore have in the game?
He has 2.
Oh, my God. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was told Ryan Day's a better coach than Sharon Moore. That's what I was told.
Hey, well, you know what? Last year I was told it was with Harbaugh's team. This year it was with the Harbaugh team gutted and Sharon Moore. He did his thing, man.
That's why you don't fire a coach mid-season.
Hi, Chase.
I never said fire mid-season.
No,
you guys are putting words in my mouth. It's like you saying nobody said Ryan Day was better than Sharon Moore. You guys all last year were saying Sharon Moore was better than Ryan Day. It looks like you guys were proven right. You guys are trying to flip the script on what you guys were saying.
I love you, Chase.
Right.
Hey, listen. Want to know what the best pregame Lions party is? December